Hey guys, happy Thursday. I hope you guys are going to jump on live today because people have been asking me what's going on with Beatrice, BIJOUX. And I did a poll, but surprisingly, nobody voted. Well, very few people voted for that under the community tab. But then I'm getting comments on the actual videos like, what's going on with part three? So, voila, part three, reaction video to the case of Beatrice BIJOUX. And if you guys haven't watched parts 1 and 2, run back those two. We did the first one, the interrogation of Beatrice. The second one was meet the sister and the boyfriend. I don't know if it's still the boyfriend, but sister and boyfriend. And then part 3, what happened to her. As you can tell by the title, she was found not guilty by reason of insanity. We're going to kind of break it down what happened and how we got to that point, because I'm sure you guys were wondering what happened with her. This happened back in February. So this kind of wrapped up pretty quickly, according to most criminal cases. Like, it wrapped up pretty quickly because she ended up they filed a notice of I'm tongue-tied today. Notice that they were going to file an insanity plea. So it wrapped it up relatively quickly. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, click the thumbs up button. It pushes out to the YouTube algorithm. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to see what you guys think about it. So make sure you check it in the chat box. I'm going to check the chat box, see what everybody's talking about. AA Legal Focus. Hey, Judy. Looking forward to this. Debt-free dad. Tune in for, hey, Marcus. Thanks for supporting. And if you guys haven't checked out Marcus's channel, Debt-free Dad, he's another attorney. If you're new to the channel, I'm an attorney. Tracy's an attorney. Debt-free Dad, Marcus is an attorney too. He talks about his financial journey to having debt-free and generational wealth. And he does reaction videos as well. So check out his channel too if you are not already subscribed to his channel. So thanks, Marcus, for checking in. Anybody else that's hopping on the live, check in. We're going to get right into it because I want to know what you guys think about it. Y'all got a lot to say in the comment section on the other two videos. So we got to see what you guys got to say about this one. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can see the actual article. As I mentioned, Beatrice BIJOUX was found not guilty by reason of insanity. And I'm going to actually go to the Martin County Clerk's. Hopefully I'm not losing power. Martin County Clerk's office to show you kind of like the progression of how her case went and who she was represented by and how that played into her pleading not guilty. And what does that mean for her? Like, where does she go now that she's pled not guilty by reason of insanity and the judge has found that to be the case? So let's check in and we're going to see. I'm going to share my screen with you and then we'll see. So, well, let's start out. For the people that just got here, I'm going to show a short clip about who is Beatrice BIJOUX. She's an attorney who basically ran down 4 people in the parking lot in Florida. She claimed that she heard voices. That's the reason why she did it. She was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And so how do we get here? Basically, like, this is an attorney. And what we talk about was mental health. And mental health doesn't care what your profession is. Like, mental health will affect you no matter what. So I'm going to play a short clip of what happened in the original first part 1 video, but I'm going to jump over to the Martin County Clerk's office, the criminal division, because it shows you kind of what happened from the day that she got arrested to them getting search warrants, to her having a public defender, to her getting a private criminal defense attorney, all that stuff. So let me share that quick thing for those who are new here. And then you guys can check out the other videos yourselves in detail, but I want to kind of show that first and then we'll go from there. So, all right, hopefully you can see. I tried to cue it up already for you guys. So here we go.
I'm an attorney.
You're an attorney?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been hearing voices telling me to kill myself and to kill other people.
When did that start?
I have a gun at my parents' house right now. I got diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia.
Okay. When was that?
2019.
Okay.
And it ruined my life. What are my charges?
Probably 4 counts of aggravated battery and another count of aggravated assault.
I attempted to murder that woman.
Well, conferred with the state attorney and they don't want to charge attempted murder right now. But if you're adamant, you can always explain that to your defense attorney, but I'm sure they're willing to.
No, I want the attempted murder charge.
You want the attempted murder charge?
Yeah.
Well,
because I tried to kill her and I would like to walk out of here right now.
The two don't go hand in hand, okay?
What?
You can't try to kill people and then just walk free. We fed you lunch.
I can try and kill you.
That's not going to go well.
Yes, it will go well.
Sit down.
No, I'm not
Sit
going
down.
to sit down.
I'm not
I'm
playing
not going to
games.
sit down. I'm not playing
Have a
games
seat.
either.
All right.
No.
I don't want to hurt you.
I'm going to kill as many people as I can.
That's not going to happen. Okay? Listen, Beatrice, please sit down. We're
No.
being very nice to you. We're being very nice to you.
Tell you
No
what,
one wants to hurt you.
if we charge you with the attempted murder, would you sit down?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that and sit down.
All right, so I'm gonna stop there because you can go back and watch part 1 of the 3-part videos to see it. But I'm not gonna get into detail. I just want to kind of give you a background. Like, this was the mental state she was in when she was interrogated on February 22nd, 2022. Obviously, she was not in her right frame of mind. She asked that her charges be upgraded, all that stuff, right? Anybody in their right mind would not ask for upgraded charges. But as I talked to you before in the other video, you really can't choose what you're charged with. Like, if that was the case, people would be charged with lesser crimes. But it basically was based on the evidence, like what was available. She said that she intended to try to kill them. So I'll share my other screen to show you what she ended up being charged with and what she ended up be adjudicated not guilty by reason of insanity. So she had 4 counts. Let me share the screen because I'm going to go to the Martin County Clerk's Office. So as you can see, they actually misspelled her name. Hopefully it's big enough for you to see. They misspelled her name because they have a Beatrice without the Z at the end. So she has 3 different case numbers here. But when you open up, let's try it again. Homepage, just queue it up. So I searched by her last name because they actually had her first name misspelled, so it wasn't coming up. So then when I just searched by her last name, it brought up the 3 different case numbers. But she was charged with 4 counts of attempted homicide, held on no bond. Then she was charged with, it was queued up, y'all. I'm sorry. Let's stop sharing that for a second. She was charged with 4 counts of attempted homicide, no bond. She was charged with assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill, no bond. Fleeing the scene of a crime with disregard for human life. She was held on $500,000 bond for that, right? So these were pretty serious charges that she was up against. And it was a matter of like, well, she was held on no bond for 2 of them, meaning when the court says no bond, it means you are a danger to society and also a flight risk. So they found that based on the circumstances that she might be both. So they held her until the time of her, whatever her trial would have been, right? That's what no bond means for those of you who are not familiar. So they held her. And this actually has eerily similarities to the case that Tracy covered, which is Nurse Nikki. If you haven't checked out Tracy's video, she did a reaction video to Nurse Nikki, who was a nurse from Texas, but was living in California as a traveling nurse, and basically plowed through a intersection and ended up killing, I think, 6 people. So in Beatrice's case, she didn't kill anybody. She severely injured some people, but she didn't kill anybody. And in Nurse Nikki's case, she killed 6 people. So she's definitely being held on no bond right now until they figure out what's going on with her. Similarly, they both have histories of mental health disabilities in their past. And I'm sure in the Nurse Nikki case, her mental status at the time of the incident is going to come up just as it did in Beatrice's case. So let me see if, okay. Let me go back. While I'm checking that, let's see who's checking in. We have Sharon Lees. Hi, Sharon. Greetings. We have Ab Malley. Hey, Ab Malley. Shannon, it's my dream to become a lawyer. I just need to know all the tricks to pass law school. If it was that easy, Shannon. Lee's Law Firm, tune in for the update. I've been wondering what happened to her. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm getting a lot from a lot of people. So let me go back to the Martin County Clerk's Office, because as I was mentioning, she had several things happen between February 22nd and now. And I kind of want to know what happened. So what I did originally was, let me share the screen again. So now is one to cooperate. All right, so results for BIJOUX. So as I mentioned, she had 3 different case numbers for the different charges, but I just pulled up, let's see, one of them. So details. This one was fleeing, eluding officer after crashing involving damage or injury. What is this one for? This one was for, it's a felony charge. So attempted, so this is the charges. So 4 counts of attempted first-degree murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and high speed or wanton fleeing. And her plea was not guilty by reason of insanity. Disposition was mentally unable to stand trial. She's right now in the custody of out of county. So what happened is, if you scroll down, a lot of things happened between February 22nd and now, right? So she originally had a public defender represent her, right? When you are first arrested, if you don't have a private attorney representing you, then in criminal cases, you are entitled to an attorney to represent you so that you don't have to go pro se, which is without an attorney. They applied for a search warrant. Notice of appearance, this is the original attorney. John Hetherington was the original attorney. They applied for affidavit search warrant. They did search warrant. She entered a plea of not guilty on March 11th. And then things started happening, right? So they had to start doing discovery, things of that nature. So motion to compel discovery, application for determination of criminal indigence. So indigence means that she is basically doesn't have any money to basically represent herself. So what happens is the court, in I guess taxpayer dollars, basically supports the defense. Like you have to order certain things. It's covered by taxpayer dollars, basically. So the attorney that's representing her is being paid through the system that supports indigent defendants. At some point, she got rid of her public defender, and she had a private attorney, Lance Richard, who ended up representing her. They have a motion to incur additional costs for a forensic psychologist. What happens is when if you put in a plea to say not guilty for reason of insanity, you have to have an assessment by a mental health professional to say whether this is true. So they granted the motion for the forensic psychologist, and based off of what happened, they basically said they're judging the defendant not guilty by reason of insanity and commitment to Department of Children and Families. New Horizons is one of the commitment centers. I was confused about why it was Department of Children and Families. I don't know how it works in Florida, but she basically is going to be in a mental health facility. So that's what ended up happening to her. So she didn't go to jail, but she is actually going to be held involuntarily in a mental health facility. If you saw the other video, she was already been held. She's been previously involuntarily committed, and it didn't work. So what happens is when you basically say that, you were not able to possess the mens rea, the actual mental state to commit a crime, then they say, okay, if you basically can't get it together, we're going to send you to commitment. You have to agree to do medications and get you up to, a state where you can be aware of your surroundings and not be a danger to the public, right? So that's what she's basically at right now. In those cases, it's not necessarily a get out of jail free card, because in a lot of cases, when a defendant is remanded to one of these mental health facilities, they end up spending a longer time there than they would have if they got actually adjudicated guilty in a regular prison situation, right? Because they basically have to prove that not just when they're on their medication, they're going to keep up their medication regimen. And that was her problem before. She came off of it because she felt like she was feeling better. And in reality, that is part of, I guess, mental health. People who have mental health disabilities, it gives them a false sense of they're doing better, so they go off their medications. And then situations like this happen where they are a danger to society because she ran her car into people and injured them. Thankfully, she didn't kill anyone, but she definitely caused some trouble. Let me share with you too some of her victims, because I think it was kind of like almost a victimless crime because they didn't show their faces. But actually, when they went to court to say that she was not guilty by reason of insanity, 2 of the victims that she hit actually shared their experiences and what it meant to them that she got adjudicated not guilty because of reason of insanity. So let me bring that up to you and share it with you here. All right, let's cue this up. Let's hope this works.
Grocery store enters a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. Beatrice BIJOUX facing 4 counts of attempted murder. Tara Jakeway is live in Stewart after speaking exclusively with 2 of the victims regarding this major development in that case. Tara?
Well, Todd, based on a report by a medical doctor, the state agreed this afternoon that Beatrice Bijoux was not guilty by way of insanity when she plowed her vehicle into a group of people outside a Stewart grocery store back in February. Now, Bijoux appeared before a judge Friday afternoon in handcuffs, an orange jumpsuit, and her hair back in tight buns. She appeared lucid but stoic. She's been held without bond since February when police say she slammed her black Kia into a table outside a Fresh Market, backed up, then went after a witness who followed her and went after her. In total, 4 people were injured. When cops caught up to Bijoux, they say she admitted to the act right away, saying that voices in her head told her to, quote, kill the people. She was facing 4 counts of attempted murder, but today she was agitated by way of insanity. She stood and nodded to the judge while he gave the ruling and never made eye contact with her victims, including Holly Mineo, who was grabbing lunch with her mom, Liz, when Bijoux plowed her car into them, severely injuring them both.
Things will never be the same for us. You know, we both have injuries. You know, walking out near traffic or eating lunch somewhere, it's always on my mind every single day.
What I want to tell her is accept the help. It is being offered to her. Accept the help. Take it. Just take it for yourself and for your family.
She's gotten on a regime of taking medication, and she is almost back to being herself, 100%. So she's got good things to do in her life, and she's going to move forward and get those done.
Okay, so let me stop sharing that. So what do you guys think? Comment in the comment section, because you got to see the faces of some of the victims that were impacted by it. Obviously, they have post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, as a result of it. When they go to certain places, they think about that. And I'm sure that was very traumatic for them. But they, in my view, they seemed very understanding to the fact that they said they hope that she gets treatment, right? That's a lot to say for somebody who was injured as a result of her actions, and not to have that, I guess, anger or hatred towards the person that caused your injuries, right? They said, I hope she gets the treatment she needs. Now, you see her attorney says, like, oh, she's back on a regimen and she's about to be back to being 100%. And we've seen this in the past, and she's admitted in the past, and her sisters admitted in the past, that she's gotten to a point where she was 100%. She was a full functioning attorney before this happened, had her own law firm, and then bam, this happened. So I think, I don't know, it was a combination of things put together as far as why she stopped taking her medicine voluntarily, whether it's for financial reasons or because she thought it was interfering with her relationship with her boyfriend. It might be her ex-boyfriend now. I don't know the reasons, but she had been functioning before and then stopped taking it as prescribed. So I don't know if that gives anybody any kind of pause to say that, you know, she's almost 100% back. So let me check in with what you guys, anybody in the chat. LJ Chavez. Hi, LJ Chavez. Yes, she was a lawyer. She actually got disbarred from Florida, so she's no longer a practicing attorney because she lost her license. So even if she, I guess, becomes 100%, as he says, she lost her license as a result of it. So that journey to getting, you know, back to 100%, she's never going to be what she was before in that sense, because this has changed her life forever. And if you saw her other videos, she's kind of said that her diagnosis of schizophrenia kind of ruined her life. And in reality, I guess it did, because just to think that you worked so hard to become an attorney and then it's all taken away because you had an episode, a mental health episode that her brain basically betrayed her. It's sad. But also, as we mentioned, there's also victims of this too. And it's sad that they had to endure that because of the psychotic episode she had on February 22nd, 2022. AA legal folks, she was obviously mentally ill. She was a personal injury lawyer. Yeah, so she was successful in that, right? So I was going to say, the attorney, I wanted to share with them because originally, like I said, she was given a public defender, and then she ended up having Lance Richard represent her. So I don't know if her family got the money together to do that or if he took the case pro bono. He's an attorney in the state of Florida as well. And I checked him out because this is how I actually got an update about it. This is LinkedIn page, and it says Lance Richard, trial attorney at Lance Richard, injured, arrested, got Lance. I got Lance.com. kind of catchy. So he's also a personal injury lawyer and a criminal defense lawyer. So I don't know if he was familiar with her before this incident and maybe took it on as a courtesy or a favor for her, or, you know, the family basically paid him to take on the case. He updated in his LinkedIn the article that talked about it, that he was quoted in, that she is going on a regimen of taking medication and she's almost back to being herself 100%. So she's got good things. So he cited to that in his LinkedIn page. He's been an attorney, went to University of Miami Law School, graduated in 1994, and has been attorney in different capacities and now works for himself. Has been working for himself in Stuart, Florida for the last 17 years. So I don't know his track record. I'm not in Florida. I don't know what his reputation is for it, but in this circumstance, people often claim not guilty by reason of insanity, but I think about 1% of the cases they claim that, right? But in reality, only a small percentage actually get adjudicated not guilty by reason of insanity, right? Because it might be something that says like, oh no, at the time of the incident, it wasn't proven that they didn't have the mens rea. In this situation, whatever forensic psychologist they got was on their side. The judge found the testimony of the psychologist or the report of the psychologist probative in value and weighed it in favor of saying that she basically was not in her right state of mind, which was an excuse defense, not a defense of saying that, you know, sometimes there's offenses to a crime saying that done in the heat of passion and things of that nature. This was an excuse because she had mental illness at the time that the incident happened. Not just mental illness in general. At the time that it happened, she was suffering from a psychotic break, which caused her to be able to not have the correct mens rea. So that is what happened with her. That's who represented her. That's where I don't know how long she'll be in the custody of the state, but she at least for a while, and I'm sure that she has to demonstrate certain things. And as far as her getting back out here and hopefully not injuring others, who knows what'll happen, because mental health is so unpredictable. I know I was reading another case where a guy was also found not guilty by insanity. He spent about 8 years in the state, a state mental health facility, ended up coming out on probation, proved himself fine, and then committed a new offense. And so some people say that the rate of recidivism is low for people who get adjudicated by not guilty by reason of insanity. But in his particular situation, he reoffended, and that kind of puts pressure on the judge, the prosecutors, the mental health professionals, the people that are supervising her on probation. It puts kind of pressure on them to make sure that they're making the right decision so that they don't release somebody back into the public before they're ready to be released, because it's a public safety issue, right? If she's not ready to be in the public and you say, okay, she's good, she's taking her medicine, and then a month or two later, she stops taking her medication and something similar happens, you're putting people in jeopardy. I know in her original video, she said that she even was, she feared that she was going to hurt her niece, right? So not just the general public, her own family members that, she felt that she was a danger to. So you kind of want to save them from themselves and from other people. So let's see what's going on. Debt-free dad, terrible all around. Those injuries and trauma will stay with them forever. They are thoughtful and forgiving. I couldn't let that go so easy. Glad no one died. Right? Yeah, I agree that it's just bad all around. And so I don't know what's going to happen with the nurse Nikki case. Tracy's going to do an update about that, because currently she's being held on no bond. But it begs the question, like, we got a lot of people out here running around and untreated or not on their medications like they're supposed to be, and causing injury to other people. And so how do you get that under control? How do you make the world safer for other people when you have people who, are not in compliance, and you can't make them you can't make them take their medicine, but then as a result of them not taking their medicine, they end up harming people? How do you kind of do that and monitor? And I guess, I don't know if mental illness is based on the environment or stress. Like, it could be triggered by stresses, and you never know what can happen to cause it. So what do you guys think? Comment in the comment section. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. I wanted to jump on here because, like I said, people wanted to see the update of what's going on with her. So she was found not guilty by reason of insanity. We'll see if Nurse Nikki is found to the same thing. Some people say that she got off easy, that she should have been put in jail. Throw her in jail, lock the door and throw away the key. I'm not sure if that would have been the most effective thing for her in this case, because she clearly seemed like something was wrong in treatment versus punishment in this situation. But I think some people argue like everybody commit crimes got a little bit something in them that ain't right? Because in reality, I would like to think that at the core of it, most people are good people. But then why do they commit the crimes? And it's like, oh, because they had a bad childhood. Is that an excuse? It kind of opens up Pandora's box in that sense. So I agree that it needs to be addressed in the proper ways, proper avenues, but we'll see what ends up happening. When a forensic evaluation is requested, it's very rare for a non-competent call to come back. If the person is deemed not competent to proceed to trial, they truly need help. So I guess they found that they believed her. Like the psychologist said, nope, she ain't got it. She's not here, and she wasn't at the time of the incident, and she perhaps needs help now. So hopefully she's getting help. Her victims want her to get help. I think most people that watched the video wanted her to get help as well. We had some people that was like throwing a book at her, but for the most part, they recognized something was wrong. I don't know what ended up happening to her boyfriend, because he seems like something was kind of off with him. So I don't know if he's still supportive of her in her life. Obviously, her sister is going to be her sister no matter what. So, and her family that she has in Florida. So hopefully she's getting it. So comment in the comment section. I know this was like part 3. This is probably this end of the Beatrice BIJOUX case, but it was interesting to see kind of the progression and to see what ended up happening with her between February and now. So thank you guys for joining and engaging. Debt Free Dad, AA Legal Focus, LJ Chavez, Lee's Law Firm, Ad Malley, Shannon, Sharon. Thank you all for engaging on the channel on the live today. And next week we'll come out with some new videos. So make sure you tune in and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified as soon as we drop the new video. All right, thanks guys. Enjoy your rest of your Thursday, and tomorrow is, thank God, it's Friday. All right, thanks guys.